Hello everybody, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the best Bloodtwin build in Pilgrammed. This build can two-shot the test dummies, and I believe it's the most damage you can do without having any setup required. You're not required to stack Rampage or Bloodthirsty or combo stacks, you just use your heavy attack and deal over 500 damage. There's a lot of versatility in the accessories that I'm using, so you can change it for enemies that have lots of resistance, or you can edit it to make it so that you have more health regeneration. Here's the build absolutely melting Granny, because I know some people say that test dummies aren't a reliable indicator of your damage. Granny is a literal rock, she can't even bleed, and I'm still absolutely melting her as you can see. This is mainly due to the accessories that we're using, which allows us to do a lot of damage. The way bleed works on certain enemies is it actually gets converted into flat damage, which actually works in our favor. So let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that we're using. For the helmet, we've got the Martial Headband. This gives you crit chance, dexterity, and strength. All these things increase our DPS, but unfortunately we're not able to use the set bonus. Our next armor is the Patchwork Armor, which gives you a ton of strength and dexterity, and it lets you heal when you crit. This is definitely the best armor in the game, and it's used on like 80% of melee builds. Our first accessory is the Rusty Spoon, which increases the level of bleeds that you apply by 1. What this means is that instead of doing 10 bleed damage, you'll be doing 20. Our next accessory is the Mysterious Charm, which gives you 5% crit chance and 10% extra damage. These things combined, you're going to be dealing a lot more DPS to your enemies. Our next and probably most important item is the Diamond Ring, which increases all your damage by 4. Since the Bloodtwin's heavy attack is a multi-hit attack, this ends up adding a lot of damage. Our next item is the Royal Antenna. This makes it so that when you crit, you apply a massive bleed, and you also gain crit chance and strength as well. And for our final accessory, we have the Knight's Talisman, which increases the damage you do by 15% in exchange for your mana. This accessory is interchangeable, and there are some other accessories that you can use instead of it. It's really up to you. One other option I really recommend is the Blood Chalice. It lets you heal a lot easier, and you can afford to make more mistakes. Another accessory you can use is the Draining Stake. Whenever you hit someone who has bleed on them, it slows them by a lot and does 10% extra damage. This will do a bit less damage than the Knight's Talisman, but it's more consistent and doesn't require mana. And finally, you can use the Sharktooth Necklace, which will give your crits a lot more armor piercing, and it will also give you 5% crit chance, making it really good against armored bosses. Just experiment with these 4 accessories and choose what you want to. So the skills that we're going to be using are pretty bog standard DPS skills. We run Delicate Aced for the crit chance and crit damage. Since Patchwork gives us negative defense, we can meet the 0 defense requirement pretty easily. In the defense tree, we're using Juggernaut Aced. This will give us a bit more damage and defense. I still think that even after the nerfs, this is the most useful skill in the game. We also run Rally Aced to give us some extra healing when Patchwork isn't enough. And then for our final 2 points, we use Athlete like always. Let's talk about how to get these accessories. For the headband, we have to kill Kai, who you can find in this little cave in the mountain. Kai is a pretty easy boss, but it does take a few times to get used to. So you want to talk to him and ask him to spar you in the cave. You can't hit him normally, so you just have to parry all of his attacks. Don't even bother trying to parry his uppercuts and his kicks, because it simply isn't worth it. Wait for him to start throwing these punches, which you can parry. After you parry him like 8 times, he'll get block broken and you can hit him. You want to avoid him when he's summoning the meteors from the sky, because those are like impossible to deal with. Just focus on parrying the fist attacks and then hit him with your heavy attack afterwards. Repeat this like 2 or 3 times and you'll be able to kill him. One of the drops that you can get from Kai is his headband. If you really can't beat this boss, I suggest you guys go farm Sandpods and use a Sandpod helmet as an alternative. So for the Patchwork Armor, you have to go to the observatory, talk to this NPC over here, and he'll sell you the Patchwork Armor. This requires scrap metal, foul patches, and chaos essence. I'll show you how to get the scrap metal and the chaos essence, but to get the foul patches you have to kill this boss called Patrice, who we've done a video on in the past. So to get the scrap metal and the Rusty Spoon accessory, we have to kill the blue slime boss. He can be found in this little cavern in between the forest and the mountain. Keep on going to the end and you'll find him. Sometimes he does take a while to respawn though. So the slime will jump at you 3 times, the first 2 will be short jumps and the third one will be a long jump. Use this to your advantage and stay out of distance from the first 2 and try and parry the third jump. When he's below half health, he'll summon a bunch of slimes which you just want to kill quickly. The boss may be hitting you a lot, but he's quite weak himself, so you'll be able to kill him fast. And he has a chance to drop the Rusty Spoon accessory that we need for our build, and also the scrap metal for the Patchwork Armor. So to get the Chaos Essence and also the Royal Antenna accessory, we need to kill the King Sandpod. We can find him in the deep desert, which is connected to the volcano. The King Sandpod is one of my favorite bosses in this game, because if you don't know what you're doing, he'll absolutely destroy you. But if you've learnt his attack patterns, he's quite easy to kill and fun to play against. When you're not running away from him, he'll mainly do 3 moves to you. The first move is when he summons spikes, which do decent damage, but they won't be able to hit you if you're standing right in his face. The second move are these claw swipes. If you parry all of them, he'll become weak, allowing you to hit him. And the third move he does is when he jumps in the air, which you can dodge by pressing your dash key. So once you kill him, he'll give you some Chaos Essence and have a chance to drop the Royal Antenna. So for the Mysterious Charm accessory, you have to go to the Sky Battlegrounds, which is an arena in the Cloud City, and then reach around wave 50. If you do this successfully, you'll get the Mysterious Charm. I suggest bringing a friend with you if you have one, because this is not too easy. The build that you use matters a lot, so I suggest using something with a lot of healing. So for the Diamond Ring accessory, you're going to want to find that green merchant guy who spawns near the mirrors, and he'll let you buy the Diamond Ring so long as you have some diamonds. You can mine diamonds at the Egg Roost, or the Blackened Cove. Here's the NPC that sells you the Diamond Ring if you have no idea what I'm talking about. And finally, for the Knight's Talisman, you go to the bridge and talk to this knight on this little structure over here, and he'll be able to sell it to you. It requires you to mine some ore. Iron can be found in the desert, Demeter can be found in the volcano, and Mithril can be found on the mountains. As far as how to get the weapon, the Bloodtwin, you have to beat the boss called N and do a whole quest line. To explain how to do that in this video would take way too much time, but I've already done a video on the N quest before, so if you want to see that, then go ahead and watch it. As far as the weapon trait goes, I recommend using Sharp or Relentless, and for the gem, you definitely need to be using the Charm gem to increase your damage. All in all, I recommend using this build. It does a ton of damage, and it's good against almost all the bosses. Okay, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.